Ooh.
Gotcha.
Well, I'll tell you who's not currently in arbitration. Activision Blizzard.
Oh my god, what a
Oh, that's been a
nightmare.
shit show all week, man.
So
Everything keeps coming
There's
out worse and worse.
let me clue y'all in on the Activision Blizzard news. So this is an investigation that's been going on for a while by the Department of Fair Employment and Housing in California. They recently released they opened the case July 20th against Activision, claiming that it was a high harassment, high sexual assault, and frat house style environment of a company. And there are all these allegations that came out, and when Blizzard replied to that, they said, well, that's not fair, we've been changing over the years. How dare you come at us this way when there's evidential proof showing you that we are trying to change. Well, after Activision made that response, several employees came out to the tune of 800 signing a letter stating that Activision was this toxic work environment. Like, there are countless allegations of high paid executives and higher positions for both Call of Duty and World of Warcraft production team members who were assaulting women. Today, an IT person came out in court as pleading guilty to planting cameras inside restrooms, like underneath the sink, pointed up towards the restroom, towards the stalls. There was a person who was a part of the World of Warcraft production team who was referenced as the cause, or because he had so many
Cosby.
because he had so many sexual allegations where at an event, a private Blizzard event, he was trying to wrangle up girls to go back to his apartment, and he called it the Cosby Suite. There was even a girl who committed suicide because she slept with him at this event. And later, at a future event, he was passing around naked photos of her.
That's horrible.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even stop there. The CEO for Blizzard came out and said, oh, well, he tried to make an apology that was tone deaf. And because of that apology, over 2,000 Blizzard employees walked out from different departments. A ton of developers at Ubisoft signed the letter agreeing with the Activision Blizzard employees. Bungie employees and developers walked out of their positions, as well as developers at Microsoft, saying that, we can't stand for this. This shouldn't be okay. So Blizzard is in a heap of mess, to where even their executive board is responding to with their own internal investigation.
See, and that's, I've heard like so many bad things come out, like you talk about the cameras and the other stuff. But like some of the stuff, I would say a few of the items that have come out, it did sound like people were being a little oversensitive. Right? What was the one? Okay, so they were at an event and they were trying to recruit people to the software developers that go in and find the holes. What are they called?
Yeah,
they're
the
black
bugs.
Hats. They're black hat hackers.
Well, yeah, but not the black hats. But they were like.
No, I know what you're talking about. It was a girl. She went to go talk to them, and she was like, "They're like, oh, like, where's your boyfriend? Are you lost? Are you talking about that event?"
No, not that one. But it was something like that.
That's another one.
Yeah, it was another one. So it was a female person that they approached, and I forget, because the name of the job is a suggestive name, right? So they made a dirty joke, and I'm trying to remember the name.
Penetration expert.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was the exact one. And once you saw the whole list of what was all said, you're like, okay, maybe that one was some bad jokes, like frat guy jokes, like you're saying.
Yeah.
They're not okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, they're not okay for, a work environment. But at the same time, it does put it in a different perspective if that is like a joke versus actually sexually assaulting somebody, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but it's
Yeah.
still not
But
funny, especially
anyway, yeah, they've done way too much. I mean, you can't even say free Hong Kong at Blizzard, right?
No, yeah, they punished a streamer and banned him from oh my god, what game was it? Overwatch because of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They've banned World of Warcraft streamers too for trying to show that support, because I mean, Blizzard, Activision's main biggest gaming community is in China.
And also War of Warcraft, like no work is being done on War of Warcraft right now. Like absolute zero
Everything
from
got
their game
stopped.
developers.
Yeah.
So you were saying there was a lot of people walked out. So I heard the official numbers were only like 150 people actually did the walkout.
Oh no, like
Well, a lot of remote workers too.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of remote workers signed up, but I mean they weren't able to walk out, right? Like,
Well, yeah, no, I mean total it's over 2,000 like actual Blizzard employees that didn't show up to work, but the people who were at the offices, it was janitors, support staff that were there, IT people who walked out and stood outside. And I mean the community around Activision Blizzard really showed their support. There was a local restaurant that's popular to Blizzard employees that donated free food to their cause. There were porta potties that were delivered for free when nobody asked for them.
well,
It's really
so
cool.
did
Yeah.
you what into some of what the walkout demands were and that kind of items?
Yes, they want to be unionized. They want better wages, because one of the bigger issues is that the female employees just aren't being paid to any equality compared to their male counterparts. Like female developers were getting pennies where male developers were getting like actual
what were they
bills.
making? Like, do you know?
Some of those numbers weren't disclosed at the time of the lawsuit, and they're
But,
still
yeah,
kind of
'cause
up in the air.
there was a big Excel sheet that was leaked, right? That
Mhm.
they were passing around, filling out, so they
Yeah,
knew what all everybody was making.
yeah. Uh,
I mean, on that note, that's kind of unethical, right? Like, your pay should be between you and your boss, not
but it's not
like you
illegal
should.
to
Well,
share
it's
your
not that. Just
wage.
because it's not illegal doesn't mean it's not unethical. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
I
the
would never disclose what I make to a coworker.
And I think that's because that's been ingrained in us too. Like
Mhm.
I'm also that same mentality. Like I would not share my wage. I don't even share my wage with like family or like close friends. Like, that's nobody's business but my own. But I think when you talk about inequality in wages for the same level of work, yeah, like I would think that would need to be recorded. That way those grievances could be addressed.
Yeah.
Maybe not from the employees themselves. Maybe that comes from HR, where HR has a log of, or payroll has a log of everybody's pay. That could be addressed that way.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, so what if you say, right? So you have 50 women. So we've gone over this before, right? It's not a sexist thing to state, but women tend to be less eager to negotiate than men, right? Men are more negotiative just because they're a little more aggressive, right? So if you
Because it
had
can
one
be,
woman,
yeah.
yeah, not totally absolutes, but on average, more negotiations. Men tend to want to negotiate more than women, right? On pays. And so if you had one woman who went and negotiated and she was a top coder and she used it and she's making 20,000 more than her male counterpart, why should she be punished because there's 50 women that didn't want to do what she did?
It's not being punished. It's if you're
Yeah.
doing the same level of work. If you're a top professional, top in your field, absolutely, male or female, you should be making more, period. But when you're talking about base entry level, typically in Blizzard specifically, these women are encoders on the same team as these other people, regardless if they negotiate their contracts or not. They're not getting paid the same, and that's not okay. And that's what their grievances are for. Like, hey, like, listen to us. we don't get the same level of projects. We don't get the same level of opportunity that our male counterparts are getting. Any projects that that we could be part of and really contribute to, we're given lesser tasks. And that mentality by like that frat boy house, like, making jokes like this, like those penetration jokes that, yeah, okay, that's a boys will be boys attitude, but that's not okay anymore. And I think we kind of established that over the years.
Yeah.
So I think with pay in particular, like I hear them, like, good for you. Like I want to see these changes being made across the industry, especially the gaming industry.
Mm-hmm.
A
I
couple,
mean, the fallout from Gamergate was a big deal, right?
I don't know
Like,
what that is.
so Gamergate was the big reveal of all that, like all of what started all this stuff, right? Like
Oh, okay, like their
the
payouts and
reveal
stuff.
of the
Yeah.
bad culture around it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
again, I mean, I can say I personally was looking into some of the demands, and I didn't see it as women inequality. I think the demands got a little more subcategory, right?
mm-hmm.
And my big complaint with the way they were approaching Blizzard is they were narrowing down their categories, right? Like when you're going into a big negotiation, you shoot with a shotgun and see what hits.
Mm-hmm.
And they had too many people trying to focus on all these little groups. And so Blizzard can just easily pay off a couple of those little groups, and you know,
Well,
what can you say then?
Well, see, that's what they're trying to avoid. They don't want a payout. They want a permanent fix in the industry, because one of the biggest things that has hurt the gaming industry is crunch. It's basically forcing your employees to work 10 plus hours, however many hours overtime, 10 plus hour days, just to release a game. Like that's been a big problem.
Again, but that's going to come back to the developers. And so if you're a big developer, right? If you actually understand a game, why do you have to work for Blizzard? That's my other question. Why? So I mean, if you're a female creator, right, and you've been making little apps on your own, Blizzard is like, hey, try to lure you with a contract. Why do you have to take that contract? Can't you just?
So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, you're
There
absolutely
is
right.
that recruitment I was talking about, where they're telling this developer like, oh, are you lost? Like, is your boyfriend here? Like, basically just being sexist asshole stir. She ended up becoming a CEO of another company, or like a CIO of another company. And that company was approached by Blizzard for a contract over a certain game developer. And the person, the CIO, she ended up telling her story to the CEO and the owner of the company. And they basically responded to Blizzard and said, hey, we have somebody on our staff that went to your recruiting event. This is what happened. This is what unfolded. And because of this, and this is what we believe in as a company, we will not be pursuing a contract with you unless you do, like, it was like two silly things, which to me, in my opinion, was over the top. But, like, they do have that discretion to say, you know what, we're not going to work with you, Blizzard, until you fix these things. But I do think that it's important that Blizzard faces these issues head on and makes these changes in the industry. And I think that other companies or industries that are dominated like this, especially in IT, it will make changes in those areas too.
Oh yeah, you're correct. I don't see how unionizing the IT field is going to, like, we as workers have moved past the need for unions, in my personal opinion, right? Like we can negotiate face to face now. We don't need to elect a person to fly across to a different state to talk to corporate, right? Like you can video call them now if you really want to negotiate.
Perfect.
You can very easily build your own game, go online, be an online creator. Like there's so many other jobs that you don't have to work for Blizzard. So that, long story short on this rant, is if you really hate Blizzard and you really want to hurt them, stop working for them. If they don't have workers, they're not going to do anything. They don't they don't do anything. They don't have money. If they don't have money, they can't hurt anybody. Like,
yeah, stop buying their games. Stop
I
paying
haven't bought a
for
Blizzard
World of
game in
Warcraft.
years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after that whole Hong Kong thing. Like, this left me a really bad taste in my mouth about Blizzard in general and the type of culture that they have there.
Oh, and one of the
I haven't played any of them.
responses to the lawsuit from the Department of Fair Employment and Housing from Blizzard is them claiming that the state of California no longer wants good companies working there, so they're trying to force everyone out.
Well, I mean, it's not that California doesn't have that. It's just their politics in California. Like, we've seen what becomes of it, right? Like, California right now is an example of what they want.
Yeah.
And I mean, so that's my biggest thing. California is supposed to be the most progressive, the most liberal state in the union, but yet everybody's fleeing there and everybody hates it. Like, maybe that's not always a good thing.
Yeah. Well, more information definitely is coming out about this whole thing. And honestly, every like news article that I see about it with something new is just like, it got worse, guys. It got worse.
It's one of those dumpster fires that just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And for some reason, some homeless dude's just shoveling shit into it.
No, they're just taking a shit on the sidewalk.
No,
like in San Francisco.